Let's take a seat in our chairs, coming to sit about halfway forward on your chair so your feet are able to rest onto the ground. Settle your hands into your laps, palms up or palms down, whatever feels kind of most comfortable for you. And then allow your shoulders to come to rest right on top of your hips. So sometimes we sit slightly forward or sometimes we sit slightly leaning back. See if you can find that more upright position where your shoulders are right on top of your hips. And then gently starting to grow your spine there, sitting now a little bit taller. As you get taller in your spine, relax your shoulders, soften your jaw. And if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. If you're choosing to keep your eyes open, that's absolutely okay. Just see if you can soften your eyes a little bit. And gently and slowly start to deepen your breath. Breathing in and out through the nose as best you can, but of course, breathing through your mouth when and if you need. Establishing a nice full-bodied breath. Balancing out those inhales and exhales so they're about the same length. So you're using about the same amount of time, taking in about the same amount of air on your inhale as you do expelling air on your exhale. Notice here if your tongue is pressing to the roof of your mouth, see if you can drop the tongue down and even move your tongue around your mouth a little, generate some saliva in your mouth. And once you have a little buildup of saliva, go ahead and swallow and follow the sensation of swallow all the way down towards your belly. Directing now that full body breath to the belly so that as you inhale, your belly expands. And then as you exhale, gently contract your belly back in. Softening the throat, keeping it relaxed. So there really is no sound to your breath here. But you can feel the breath, the fullness of the inhale and exhale. Notice if you started to slouch a little in your spine, sit a little taller, and then turning the palms down onto your thighs. We'll slide the hands up towards the hips, resting the hands onto the hips now. Taking your inhale breath, so the next time you breathe in, lift your chin up as high as you comfortably can, opening the eyes and looking up towards the ceiling. Then as you exhale, close the eyes down, tuck the chin towards the chest. Inhale, lifting the chin up, looking up. Exhale, dropping the chin down, looking down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Finding your own rhythm of movement here, your own kind of pattern of lifting and lowering the head with the breath. On your next inhale, simply bring your head back to center. Keep the eyes open and turn your head towards your right. You can keep both hands on your hips here, or take that left hand and now slide it behind your back, reaching across your back to the right side with your left hand as you look over towards your right. Nice. If you have your left hand across your back, bring it back onto your left hip, then bring your head back to center. And let's turn the head now to look to the left side. Right hand can stay on the hip, or slide that right hand behind you, maybe across your back towards the left hip. Just adding a little bit to this stretch here as we hold and breathe. Remember that full body breath and that gentle contraction of the belly as you exhale. Good. Letting the right hand come back onto the hip, bringing the head back to center. This time we're going to tilt the head towards the right. So the right ear comes a little closer to the right shoulder. You might take your right hand and drape it up and over. So it's resting on that left ear. You might take that left arm and drop it beside you, or once again, slide it around your back and across the back as you tilt your head to the right. Still sustaining those full belly breaths. Very nice. Take the left hand back onto your hip, release your right hand onto the right hip, bring your head back up to center. Then we'll tilt the head over to the left side. Again, now the left arm might come up and over. These are just options. You're just finding where you have your own sensation of stretch. The right arm might dangle down beside you, or you might take that right arm now across the back of your body. Jaw still relaxed, breath is still full. Very nice. Let's take the right hand back onto the right hip, left hand back down, head back up to center. With the hands on your hips now, as you inhale, wrap your shoulders up and back, hugging the elbows back, and then sliding the shoulders down and forward. Elbows coming out. Good. Inhale up and back. Exhale down and forward. We've got a few gentle rolls like this, but making them nice and big, so as full as you can in the motion of your shoulders. Then let's try going the other way, circle the other direction, letting the motion of the shoulders affect a little bit of the movement of your arms. So your arms might kind of flap a little bit here as the shoulders circle. Very good. Next time you exhale, bring your shoulders forward, drop your chin down, hug your belly in, and actively round your spine. Hands still on the hips. Take your next inhale, lift the chest up, take your shoulders back, elbows back, look up. Hands still on the hips. Good. Exhale. Let's bring elbows forward, chin drops, round the spine. Inhale, lift the chest up, look up. Exhale, rounding in. Really nice. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, rounding. Beautiful. Next inhale, sit nice and tall. As you exhale, left hand to the right thigh, right hand behind you, looking to the right. Inhale, unwind. Take the right hand across to the left leg, left hand behind you, twist to the left. Little flowing motion here. Inhale, unwind. Exhale to twist. Gentle, gentle twists. Inhaling and then exhaling to twist the opposite way. Good. One more time like this, each side. And this time, as you inhale through center, drop the arms to your side. On your next inhale breath, your right arm will come out to the right and up as high as you comfortably can, or take the right hand towards your right shoulder or back down to your side. Good. Another breath here to sit a little taller, to get a little fuller. Then as you exhale, you're going to arc over to your left. Let's inhale and come up just part way. Root the right hip down, then exhale, go a little deeper to the left. One more time, we'll come up just a little bit. Root that right hip down, exhale, curve a little deeper to your left. Nice. Inhale up through center, right arm down, sit tall. Inhale, left arm up. Again, hand can come to the shoulder or down to your side. One more breath like this, get really tall, then exhale, curve over towards your right. Inhale to come back up part way, really weight the left hip down, exhale to the right. Inhale again, just a little bit, weight that left hip down, curve over to the right. Nice. Inhale back up to center, maybe taking the right arm up to meet the left arm, or arms more out in front, wherever the shoulders allow. See if you can now bring your hands together and interlace your fingers, releasing your index fingers to point upwards or out in front. Hug your biceps towards your ears, and we're going to gently start to sway the upper body from side to side. So what I want you to consider here is that the fingers that are pointing these first fingers that are pointing forward or up overhead, they're directing the motion. You can imagine they're like little felt pens drawing a line from right to left and left to right. Nice. Then let's come back to center. Take another inhale breath, get a little taller in your seat. As you exhale, the hands are going to come down level with the ground, round your spine, look towards your belly. Inhale, sweep those interlaced fingers up overhead, lift the gaze, look up. Exhale and lower the arms down level with the ground and round your spine. A few more times like this. Inhale. And you're just lifting the arms as high as is comfortable. Exhale, lowering level and rounding. One more time. Nice. Keep the arms level with the ground as you inhale and sit up tall. As you exhale, round the spine again, lean back. This time, as you inhale, slide those hands forward. So without lifting or lowering, reach forward. Exhale, gliding back. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, gliding back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. One more like this. Keep those arms level with the ground. Exhale back. Good. This time as you inhale, come forward and sweep those hands over to the right. As you exhale again, coming through center with the hands, lean back into the left. Inhale, sweep them around in front and over to the right. Exhale, leaning back and over to the left. Now watch here. I try to keep your arms as straight as you can. The tendency is to bend the elbows. We want to keep the arms nice and straight like sticks and stir the torso, the belly, in this big sweeping motion. Really nice. Let's go the other way. Just pause where you are and now unwind yourself. Very good. 3 more like this. Good. Coming back through center. Once more. Inhale, lift those arms as high as you can. Big, big, big breath in. And then exhale, rounding down, releasing the hands to the knees. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders back. Exhale, rounding forward, sliding the hands down the leg. Inhale, coming all the way back up to sit tall, lift the chest, lift the chin. Exhale, folding forward and down. Only fold as far as is comfortable for you here. Keep your head above your heart if you need. Finding a little bit of motion with your breath. Beautiful. Let's do 3 more like this. Inhaling to lift the chest, look up. Exhaling to round and curl forward and down. Last one like this. On your exhale, you're going to fold forward and down, hands coming towards the knees, the shins, the ankles, or the floor. If there's no concern for blood pressure, you could let your head drop down. Otherwise, keep the head lifted above the heart. Take some breaths here in this forward fold, holding and breathing. Beautiful. Bring your hands now onto your knees, keeping the spine long and straight as you inhale and rise back up into your seated position. Releasing the arms to the sides now, palms forward, Tadasana. Keep those shoulders peeled back, but watch the tendency here. When we draw the shoulders back, it's very common to flare the rib cage forward. think about containing your upper belly a little bit as your shoulders go back. Nice. We'll find some movement now down into the feet, starting to lift one heel and lower, then lift the other and lower. So alternating from side to side, just pumping the heels, getting a little bit of motion through the body. And then if it's okay for you, so you have no injuries in the feet, nothing there to take extra care of, then you might start to drop your heels with a bit more force, creating a little vibration up the legs as the heels drop onto the ground. Otherwise, if that's not okay for you, take it nice and gentle, just lifting and lowering one heel and then the other. Good. That little pounding of the heel on the ground is helpful for stimulating blood flow and lymph flow up the legs. So that's really good to do, especially first thing in the morning. Get that lymph flowing. Nice. Let's let both heels come onto the floor, and we'll take the right leg now and extend it out. Flex the toes back to begin. Make that leg nice and long and strong. Then inhale your arms forward and up. Now you have an option here. If there's any concerns along the spine, keep your hands on your legs. Otherwise, challenging yourself by extending the arms out, on your exhale, begin to fold. Keep those arms lifted as you fold, reaching out in front of you. Then release the hands onto your shins, your thighs, maybe coming forward with the right hand to tap the right toes. Nice. Then on your inhale, once again, take those arms forward and up, rise all the way up. Exhale, let the arms come down to your sides. Beautiful. Step the right foot in. Let's take the left leg out. So sitting tall, Tadasana, palms forward, shoulders back, a little containment there in the upper belly. And then start to point and flex the left foot just a few times. Good. Drawing back on those left toes, inhale the arms forward and up. Again, lifting them as high as you comfortably can. You are welcome to keep your hands on your legs. That's a great option too. On your exhale, reaching forward, folding out over the legs. Reach, 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 reach. Then simply release your hands to your knees, thighs, shins. Maybe extending that left hand down towards the left foot. Beautiful. Then inhale, arms forward. So before you lift up, extend those arms out. Press into that right foot and rise all the way up. Exhale, let the arms come down. Beautiful. We're going to keep the legs as they are. So you have the option to keep the legs facing straight forward, or try opening that left leg a little bit out to the left. Keep that foot flexing back. Arms now extend out to the sides. And I want you to imagine that your arms are locked with the shoulders. So the arms don't come forward or back at all. They stay in line with the shoulders. Take another inhale breath to get a little taller, create more space. Then as you exhale, twist your upper body towards your right. Keeping those arms in line with the shoulders. Take one more breath here, then come back to center. We're going to do that again. Exhale, twist to the right. Take 2 breaths. Inhale back to center. Last time, exhale over to the right. Take 2 breaths. Press into that right foot. Maybe squeeze the thighs a little bit towards each other. See if you can twist just slightly deeper. Then unwind back to center. Arms to your sides. Woo, good work for the arms. Let's step that left foot in. Take the right leg out and then open that right leg, maybe out to the right. That's depending on what's going on in your hip. The left knee is staying pointed straight forward. Beautiful. Arms out now again to the sides. Palms facing down. Really notice where the arms are in line with the shoulders. So as you twist, it's going to be the rib cage that rotates. On your exhale, rotating over to the left. Taking a couple breaths here. Then on your inhale, unwinding through into center. Then exhaling, twisting again to the left. Beautiful. Then inhaling back to center. Last time, we're going to twist over to the left. Arms stay in line with the shoulders. Press into that left foot a little stronger and think about your thighs trying to squeeze a bit closer together. That might give you the support to maybe twist just a little deeper. Beautiful. Inhale, unwind, arms to the sides, feet back side by side, Tadasana. Inhale, arms forward, straight out in front, interlacing your fingers again, this time turning the palms out in front of you. Now, if interlacing the fingers is not a good option, you're welcome to hold on to one wrist with the other hand. Really press through the palms here. Let's round the spine one more time. Look towards the belly. Then inhale, lift the chest up, let the arms rise as high as is comfortable. Pressing down through both feet on your next exhale, you're going to hinge just slightly forward, just slightly. Good. You're welcome to keep your hands on your knees, especially if there's any concern for the back. If your knees, hips, and low back are feeling okay today, from here, you'll start to slide some weight forward off the chair, into your legs, into your feet, hovering your hips from the chair. You are welcome to use your hands to help lift yourself up if you need. Otherwise, keeping those arms extended up and out. Pressing down into both feet wherever you are, nice and strong. And let's take our next inhale to rise up. Come all the way up to sit or stand tall. Reach up, look up. Release those arms down. As they come down, sweep them around behind you and tap them together. Inhale, take them out and overhead or in front and give them a little tap. Then exhale out and down for that little tap. Then inhale out and up, little tap. Beautiful. Exhale out and down. Bring the arms around behind you. Interlace your fingers here now, palms facing together. Now, if interlacing the hands is not a good option for you, you could bring your hands onto the back of your hips or holding onto the sides of the back of the chair if you're sitting. With your hands interlaced, send them out behind you a little bit more. If there's space, even take them down a little bit more. Shoulders peeling back. Pressing down into both your feet, nice and strong. Drop your sit bones, your tailbone a little further down behind you. Feel your lower belly draw in and up. Lift your chin up, lift your chest up, take your gaze up. Now you could stay here, especially if there's any concerns for the spine. Otherwise, you might start to continue to lift the chest higher, sliding the chest back a little bit, turning this into a little bit of a back bend. If you're standing and you have your hands interlaced, those interlaced hands are actively reaching down towards the ground. Good. Strong legs, full breath. Beautiful job. Let's inhale back through to center. Release the arms to your sides. If there's any dizziness or lightheadedness, please have a seat in your chair. Returning to your Tadasana. Beautiful work. Okay, those who are standing, you're going to bring your chair to the top of your mat and turn the seat of the chair to face you. We're going to come into a lunge pose. So if you're sitting, it's returning to where we were a moment ago with the left leg extended out to the left, the right knee pointing straight forward. If you're standing, you're going to take your left foot back a little bit from the chair. Use your hands as support on the chair, and you have the choice to lift the right foot up on your chair. Now, this is so dependent on many factors on whether or not your right foot will actually make it up to the chair. So if your chair's too high, or depending on what's going on in the hip, if that's not a good option for you, you'll take your right foot slightly under the chair and walk that left foot back a little bit deeper. Right. If your right foot is on the chair, you're going to take both hands down onto the seat of the chair. That's the same too if your right foot is under the chair. If you're sitting in the chair, your left leg is maybe out to the left, leg is straight, right knee is bent. You're going to fold down to the inside of the right leg, maybe resting your right elbow on your right thigh. Good. We're gonna hold here as this is a really good stretch for the outer hips, the lower back. Good. I want everybody to feel their left heel heavy on the ground. The right knee is right on top of that ankle, not forward or back from the ankle. Good. Then you're slowly going to make your way up. So those who are standing, your hands could come onto the back of the chair. If you're feeling steady, one hand at a time might make its way up onto that front knee, that right knee. If you're sitting, take your arms out or up overhead. If you're standing, keeping that bend in the right knee, you might take one arm up. You might take both arms up. Feeling the heaviness, the pressure of the right foot rooted down. From here, we're going to take the left hand, if it's lifted, take the left hand onto the right knee, right hand on your hip. You could also keep your left hand on the back of the chair if that feels better. Rolling the right shoulder behind you, gently twist towards your right. Keep that bend in the right knee. Good. Then from here, wherever you are, see what happens if you extend the right arm out behind you. Rotating it so that it sets in the socket and the palm is facing upwards. Good job. Right hand comes back onto the hip. Slowly unwind your upper body. If you're standing, your hands come onto the chair for support and step that right foot off. Returning to sit tall or stand tall in your Tadasana, palms forward. I love that little sequence because it does so much for the hips that when you come back to Tadasana, ideally you should feel a little odd in your hips. Feeling the oddity is good. It means we're noticing the shifts and changes in the body. All right, coming into the other side, if you're sitting, your left foot comes onto the floor, knee pointing forward, right leg opens long out to the right. If you're standing, your right foot's going to go slightly back from the chair. Use your hands on the chair for support and take your left foot up, or keep your left foot slightly under the chair. Those who are standing, once you have your feet set up, bring your hands onto the chair on the inside of your left foot. Those who are sitting, maybe bring your left elbow on your left thigh, reach that right hand towards the ground. Nice little stretch for the hips here. Okay, those who are standing, slowly make your way up to bring your hands onto the back of your chair. Make sure that left knee is staying on top of the left ankle. If you're sitting, come to sit up nice and tall. Everybody root that right heel down. Press strong into the whole left foot. If you're sitting, your arms might come up overhead. If you're standing, you can always keep your hands on the back of the chair or take one hand onto that left thigh, maybe the right hand then left onto the left thigh. Coming to stand up tall. Maybe taking your arms up overhead. Then from here, if you're standing, your right hand can stay on the back of the chair or come to that left thigh. Left hand on your hip, wherever you are. Wrap that left shoulder back and slowly rotate to look towards your left. Then from here, take that left arm and extend it out behind you. Good work, everyone. Let's take that left hand onto the left hip, unwind the upper body. If you're standing, use your chair for support with your hands. Step the left foot off, and then bring both hands onto the seat of the chair. If you're sitting, bring both feet back to hip distance, knees bent. Rest your hands on your knees and gently fold forward. On your next inhale breath, extend your chest forward, look forward. Then as you exhale, bend your elbows and maybe fold a little deeper. Inhale again, lift up halfway. See if you can grow that spine a little longer. Then exhale, fold down. One more time, inhale, lift the gaze, look forward. This time as you exhale, your left foot is going to step back if you're standing or forward if you're sitting. If you're standing, when the left foot steps back, turn the toes out to face the left side. Right toe still facing forward. Bend that right knee so it stacks on top of the right ankle. If you're sitting, your left leg opens to the left. This time you might take your right leg out to the right. Right knee bent, left leg straight. If you're sitting, take your arms now out to your sides and look over your right hand. If you're standing, pressing strong into both feet, you might take one hand at a time up onto that right thigh, lifting your torso up, then maybe taking your left arm behind you, your right arm forward, warrior two. Nice. Big breaths. Good. Then wherever you are, take your right hand either onto your right thigh, or if you're standing, maybe onto the chair. Left arm towards the ceiling or overhead, side angle. Very good. Then come back up into your warrior two, wherever you are. Looking towards your right hand. Let's release the arms. If you're standing, hands to the seat of the chair. Pivot off your back toes if you're standing, and step your right foot back to meet your left foot, downward facing dog. If you're sitting, feet come back side by side. Interlace your hands, press your palms forward and up. Downward facing dog. How's that breathing? Whole body breaths here. If you're standing from your downward dog, walk your feet up towards the chair. If you're sitting, release your hands onto your knees, fold slightly forward. From here, let's all extend the chest forward, lift the gaze, look forward, big, big breath in. Exhale, bend the elbows and fold down. Inhale, extend the chest forward, look forward. Exhale, gently fold, be mindful of blood pressure here. Last time, inhale, lift the gaze, look forward. And now we're going to take the right leg back if you're standing, forward if you're sitting. If you're standing, turn the toes out slightly to the right. If you're sitting, take your legs wide, keeping that left knee bent and the right leg straight. Those who are sitting then can extend the arms out to the sides and look towards the left. Those who are standing, you might take one hand up onto the right thigh, then the other, lifting your torso up, or you might keep a hand or two on the chair. Then extending that right arm behind you, left arm forward. Good. Wherever you are, feel steady first. Okay. If you're standing, your left hand can come down onto your left thigh or onto the chair. If you're sitting, maybe it's your left elbow on your left thigh. Let's all take the right arm up as high as you comfortably can to the ceiling, or over your head, reaching overhead towards the chair or towards the left. Good. Pressing down into both feet. On your inhale, slowly come back up into your warrior two, whatever expression you're taking. Looking over that left hand. So the left hand is kind of over the left foot, right hand's over the right foot. Good. Then we'll release the arms down. Take your hands to the chair if you're standing. Pivot off your right foot and step your left foot back to meet your right foot. If you're sitting, feet come back side by side. We're all returning to our downward facing dog. So finding your variation here. Big full breaths. Good. If you're sitting, hands to the knees, slight fold forward. If you're standing, slide your shoulders over your wrists, come into a plank pose. From here, let's all bend the elbows just a little, peel the shoulders back, bring the chest through, lift the gaze, upward facing dog. Then straighten the arms, exhale. Let's go back either to your downward facing dog, or if you're sitting, into a forward fold. Good. Those who are standing, walk your feet up towards the chair, coming to your half forward fold. Those who are sitting, come all the way up to sit tall in Tadasana. Those who are standing, take your time. Bring your hands onto the back of the chair. Let blood pressure balance out before making your way all the way up to standing. Palms forward, shoulders back. Breath moving in and out. Beautiful. Okay. If you're comfortable coming to the floor, you can use your chair to help bring yourself down. We're going to take our inversion, bringing the legs up on the chair. If you're not comfortable coming to the floor, you're welcome to take a seat in your chair. And if you happen to have a second chair close by or a coffee table or something you can put your feet up onto, go ahead and do that. So those of you coming to the floor, use the chair if you need, as you're going to bring yourself down and then lift one leg at a time up onto the chair. Coming to lay down onto your back. Now, if you find having your head a little bit below your heart uncomfortable for you, you're welcome to put a pillow under your head. And if you're sitting in the chair, I'm going to really encourage you to sit all the way to the back of your chair. And again, either putting your feet up on a second prop or making sure the feet have some support. So you might put a pillow underneath them or a couple blocks underneath them. Good. Then let's all take one hand onto the low belly, kind of around the belly button or a little lower. And then take the other hand up around the chest. Soften your shoulders, your elbows. Maybe even try closing the eyes. See if you can relax your hips a little, let the legs kind of settle. And I want you to feel the movement of your breath between your hands. Feel the sense of comfort and ease that comes into the body when you tap into the sensation of the flowing breath. Okay, we're going to come in now to a variation of pigeon pose here. We haven't practiced this one in a little while, so I thought it'd be great to bring in. There's some different variations, so make sure you take the option that is workable for you. So the first posture we'll do to come into pigeon is to bring your right knee towards your belly, take your hands around your right shin or thigh, and actively hug the knee in. Now, if you're sitting in the chair and lifting the leg up like this is not an option for you, simply fold your upper body down both your legs and wrap your arms underneath them to give yourself a big hug like that. Okay, those of you who are hugging your right knee to your belly, this is option one. You can stay here like this, it's great. Option two is to take that right ankle and now place it on top of the left thigh, so that the right ankle rests onto the left thigh and the right knee opens out towards the right. That's an option. If that doesn't work for you, come back to option one. If you're sitting in the chair and lifting the leg is not an option, stay folded over both legs. If you have your right ankle resting on your left thigh and you are on the floor, you might start to bend your left knee and bring it in towards your belly. Now, your left foot does not need to lift off the chair. Okay, you might just a little bend in that left knee. You could take your right hand to your right thigh and gently press it open. If you're sitting in the chair and you do have your legs up on a secondary prop and you have your right ankle on your left thigh, then you might start to bend that left knee again. And often it doesn't take much of a bend to get a stretch. If you find bending the legs not an option, but you have the ankle on the thigh, beautiful, stay there. If you have both feet still on the floor, that's perfect. Stay folded forward over both legs. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. Beautiful. Okay, those of you who are folded over both legs, slowly make your way back up to sit up tall. Those of you who have your right ankle resting on your left thigh, first let the left leg come back to its starting position, then gently slide the right ankle off and release the right leg down beside the left. Okay, let's come into the other side. So option one, bend that left knee, bring it to the belly, take the hands around the shin or the thigh. If you're lifting the leg, if you're sitting in the chair and lifting the leg is not a good option, you're going to fold forward again, full Padangusthasana, arms around the legs, give a good squeeze, a good hug. This is a great stretch for that back. If you have your left leg bent into the belly, you could stay here. This is a good option. This is option one. Second option is to take that left ankle and maybe rest it onto the right thigh. Third option is if your right leg is resting on a prop, you might start to bend that right knee and bring it in. If you're sitting in the chair and you have the ankle resting on the thigh and your right foot's on the floor, just stay seated upright here. I might fold forward a little bit, but you don't need to. Often this is plenty. If you're folded forward, if you're sitting in the chair and folded forward over both legs, stay there. Give both legs a good squeeze, holding, breathing. One more breath like this. Beautiful. Then gently, gently release, placing both legs back either up onto your prop, your chair, or feet to the floor if you're sitting in the chair. Bring your hands back, one on the belly, one on the chest. Find that flowing breath. Those of you lying on the ground now, slide both knees into the belly, roll yourself over onto one side, gently press yourself up and away from your chair, and come to lay down onto your back. Those of you sitting in the chair, if you're using a second prop, push that prop off to the side and come to sit forward in your chair, feet flat on the ground. Good. Let's all walk our feet a little wider apart now and gently sway the knees in and out or from side to side, just encouraging a little softening, a little releasing in the hips. Good. Then let's walk those feet back to hip distance apart. If you're on the floor, see if you can walk your feet a little closer in towards your hips. And then wherever you are, press strongly down into the feet. If you're sitting in the chair, you might take your hands now to the back of the chair or onto your hips. Wrap your shoulders back, lift your chest up, lift your chin up, coming to your back bend here. Those of you on the floor, try bringing your elbows to the sides of your body, down on the ground, bending the elbows 90 degrees, pressing into those elbows, pressing into the back of your head, and now starting to lift your hips from the earth. We're going to take one bridge pose here, nice full long bridge. Deep breathing. If you're in the chair, keep the chest lifted. Good. Maybe press a little bit into the hands if you're in the chair. Sometimes I find that helpful to expand the chest a little more. Beautiful. If you're on the floor, as you go to lower your hips down, shift your hips over to the right side of your mat so they come down more towards the right. Then open your arms wide, lift your feet from the ground and take your legs to the left. If you're sitting in the chair, you're welcome to pivot now your whole body to the left side of your chair, twisting your upper body so your hands come onto the back of your chair. Coming into your final twist here. Those of you on the floor, keep your toes touching the ground as you slowly fan your knees back up, rolling your hips onto the earth. Then walking your feet more onto your mat, you're going to lift your hips up, Slide them over to the left side of your mat. Then float your feet from the ground and take your legs over towards the right. If you're in the chair, you can go ahead now and pivot your whole body all the way over left side of the chair. Your hands around to the back of your chair into your twist here. Nice big full breath, full body breath here. Good, okay. Those of you on the floor, once again, let your toes continue to touch the ground as your knees roll back up. Then walk your feet more onto your mat as you slide your hips into center. Once again, rocking the knees from side to side. If you're sitting in the chair, go ahead and pivot to face forward on your chair and slide yourself all the way to the back of your chair, coming to sit with your back against the back of the chair, or maybe putting a pillow behind your back, as we're going to make our way into Savasana now. So those on the floor, you might extend your legs straight out onto the ground, let your feet flop open. You might put a pillow or a rolled up blanket underneath your knees, or a pillow under your head. If you're in the chair, I do suggest a pillow or some support in your lap for your arms to rest upon, taking a bit of the pressure off the shoulders. Setting your body up here so it feels supported, able to relax, to let go. And then if it's comfortable for you, begin to close the eyes once again. This time deliberately, consciously relaxing the muscles around your eyes. We're going to slide into our Savasana today with the practice of Bhramari breathing. This is our gentle humming breath. Placing your tongue back now to the roof of the mouth, with the tip of the tongue sitting slightly behind your teeth, and the tongue resting very gently, very softly on the roof of the mouth. So you're not pressing hard there, but just resting the tongue there. Allowing yourself to breathe in through the nose, breathing through the mouth if you need, but in through the nose if possible. Then as you exhale, you're going to hum like a very gentle buzz of a bumblebee. And as you hum on that exhale breath, you create a little vibration in the mouth, in the head, in the throat, and even throughout the body. And that vibration acts like a release for the nervous system to settle. So we're going to continue to breathe like that, inhaling through the nose and taking that soft Bhramari breath out, humming gently with the tongue resting at the roof of the mouth. Continue to allow yourself to breathe your Bhramari breath until I signal it's time to end. One more Bhramari breath like this. Mm. At the bottom of that exhale, that humming breath, let your tongue drop from the roof of your mouth. Release that shape and effort of breathing and allow your natural breath to return. Feel the eyes sink deeper back into their sockets. Feel your whole body settle and become still. We'll take a few moments now to rest here in our Savasana, and I'll bring us back when it's time to close. Allowing your body to stay just as it is. No extra movements, no deepening of the breath, but just a simple return of your full and undivided attention. Come back into your body here as it's lying on the floor or sitting in the chair. And simply feel into the sensation of this shape, recognizing that there is nowhere else you need to be, nothing in this very moment that you need to be paying attention to, but to give your full and undivided attention to the sensations of being in your body in this very moment. And sometimes those sensations aren't comfortable. Sometimes they're downright painful. And this is why we practice to learn how to meet the discomforts the uneasinesses within the body, the mind, even the heart. Learning how to be with those spaces, even when we may not want to. Learning how to be there, not judge it, not go deeper into it, make it bigger, but also not to ignore it. Beginning now to introduce little movement into your body, gentle, small movement. And as you do with that awareness, feel how that movement shifts the sensations in the body. Again, without judgment or desire to change, just notice what happens when you introduce movement into that field of sensation. You might start to turn your head to one side and then to the other. You might start to move your jaw around a little bit, and maybe once again swallow. Slowly and kindly heightening the sensation in the body, but with full presence, full awareness. If it would feel good for you, you could take your arms over your head. Maybe once again, interlace your fingers and press your palms away, bringing a big, long stretch through the body. If you're sitting in the chair, you might bring your elbows to your thighs and allow your upper body to gently ragdoll over your legs. If you're on the floor, you could begin to bend one knee at a time, placing each foot onto the ground, and then lifting your knees into your belly and rolling yourself over onto your right side. Of course, you are welcome to roll to your left if that feels more comfortable for you. Then, if you're on your side, take your time to press yourself up and come to sit up on the ground or in your chair. And if you're in that ragdoll pose in your chair, gently roll yourself up, remove your props, and come to sit forward in your chair so your feet can be flat on the floor. Once you've taken your seat, let your hands rest back into your lap. Take your shoulders to the back of your body and once again find a longer spine, a taller seat. If your eyes opened for your transition, see if you can close the eyes again and come right back into that place of full awareness, full undivided attention into the sensations of the body. Notice without judgment, without desire to change, the state of the mind. What sort of thoughts is the mind processing right now? Also take a moment to acknowledge where your heart is this moment. How are you feeling emotionally? Without trying to dig for anything, look for anything, but to just simply notice what is obvious right here. Then let's fold hands together in front of the heart, bringing the hands to Anjali Mudra. Taking one more big breath in, float the heart up towards your fingertips. And as you exhale, bow your head down towards your heart, humbling the thinking mind to the deeper wisdom of the heart and that place of presence inside yourself. Thank you all so much for continuing to come and to practice yoga together. Namaste.